Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Red Desert Restorations. I'm Hayden. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us, and please drop a like and a subscribe. Let's get this channel to grow. Anyways, today's video, I'm going to spend the next few nights sanding these bumpers and fender flares on my 92 Chevy so that this weekend when Cody comes, we can get them painted. So first things first, I think I'm going to actually just take these fender flares off the truck. That way I don't accidentally, when I'm sanding, I don't go whoop and hit my paint. So yeah, I think that would be the best thing to do. A little bit about the truck though. This is the first truck I bought when I was 15 years old. I was big into baseball when I was a kid, and I worked at the baseball field, umpiring Little League and getting the fields all ready. And I spent a whole summer just saving up my money and bought this truck. Oh, I think it had 130,000 miles for $1,000, which thinking back now, kind of crazy to think you could buy a truck for $1,000 that was in decent shape and could run. But it's a cool truck. It's got a 454 in it. A little history about the truck is it used to belong down here in southern Utah. There's a chain of gas stations called, well, they've been sold now, but it was called KB. And this was one of the first trucks they had, and it actually ran on natural gas for a little bit, and then he sold it to the guy who owned KB. He sold it to his cousin, which is my cousin's grandpa. And so my uncle came to me and said, "Hey, I got a truck for you. It's $1,000. Do you want to buy it?" I said, "Sold." So one would think, because there's just a couple screws right here on this fender flare, one would think that you would just have to take the screws out and then the fender flare would come off. Well, with these 90 Chevys, that's not the case. There's a bunch of hidden bolts back behind here, and the door jamb. You gotta take this whole front fender off just to get these off. It's not the case on the back ones. The back ones you can just pull off, but these front ones, you gotta take the whole fender off just to get these fender flares off. That's pretty dumb.
little. Yeah, we gotta let that flash off.
All right, guys. Well, we got the primer coat done. Well, I should say Cody did. I had to watch the kiddo while he was getting this done, but it looks really, really good. Do a little walk around here for you so you can see how good she looks. And I know what you're thinking, guys, you're hitting the grill and the lights, what the hell? Well, it's because we got a new grill for it and new lights, so we're not too worried about hitting that. But it looks really, really good. Cody's got his 2 cents he's gonna throw in here, so we'll let him.
One thing I'd say is a big part that we were doing is we're just kind of trying to make this work instead of going and buying rattle cans. Like your average, whatever DIYer will do, just that it's not that much more expensive and it's twice of the outcome if you use paint guns and get good quality paint. I think total in paint we're in this like what? Not even $100.
This?
Primer and paint.
Yeah, $50.
Yeah. You mask everything off. We're using a 6-gallon compressor, which is, we're trying to do something that the average guy has in his garage, trying to show that it would work. One thing we kind of noticed in this little experiment is you don't have a lot of capability with it, so you can't just go through like we do with our big tank and shoot everything at one time. So mix smaller cups when you're doing your ratios, so you don't have paint sitting in the gun and hardening while you're painting. And let it fill up and do like one thing at a time. So I went through and I hit a coat on the fender flare, let it kind of build back up, kind of dry off, flash off, hit it again. I did like 3 coats per on each fender flare, including the bumpers. And if you do let it fill up, like on your longer stuff, like on your bumpers, so you can hit your big spanning coats, let it get all the way full, and then hit. And just focus on just the bumper at a time until it's finished. It turned out really good. Like I said, this is a high build primer. We have that thrown on there. We'll go through wet sand, get all of the imperfections off, and then after that, hit it with base coat. But for a $50 paint job, and all it takes is like a $60 set of guns, some cheap paint from O'Reilly's, AutoZone, whatever you want to get, they sell in a can, and your paint job is 10x better than what it would have been. twist. There you go. How's your paint?
It's all good. Everyone, well, here's our finished paint job here. Still need to kind of work it with some sandpaper to get it a little glossier, but as you can tell, it looks way better than it did before. Alright everyone, so as you can see, we've got the bumpers and fender flares painted on the truck, but in the process of doing that, we got a little overspray on the doors. Thanks for that, Cody. Part of me thinks that he did that just so I had to polish this thing. But with that being said, because we got a little bit of overspray on the doors, and it's been about 10 years since the truck was painted, it's probably a good idea to do a nice wet sand and a polish on this thing. See if we can't bring it back to life. All right, guys, so we're deep in the video here. The other day I came home, I didn't have a whole lot of time to get it done, didn't have enough time to film, but I had to hurry and ceramic coat my truck. So I didn't get that on film, but what we're doing now is on top of the ceramic coating, we're applying this P&S product, Inspiration Defender, and it is a SiO2 protection, and it can be used as like a coating topper. Once we get this put on, we're gonna take the grill off, the headlights off, and put on the new ones. So let's get into it. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Kind of a lot of crazy moving parts in it, but to recap, we painted the fender flares, the bumpers, wet sanded and polished the whole truck, and then on top of that, we threw on a ceramic coating to protect it over the winter time. You know, the wet sanding process is kind of a scary, intimidating process, but it's a lot of fun, and I learned a lot doing it. I can't tell you how good the truck looks. I haven't been this proud of this thing in a long time. You know, the truck didn't look bad by any means before any of this, but it just looked like an old truck, you know. But now, you know, I'm going through the neighborhood and kids are stopping and giving me a thumbs up as I'm driving by, and that makes me feel good, you know. It makes me want to just drive this truck everywhere. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like and subscribe, you know, and tell a friend about the channel. It helps us out, gets us in front of more people. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and we will see you next time.